Today on the backdrop, we're cruising from Sydney on one of the most loved Aussie-based ships, the Carnival Splendor. It's been several years since we cruised with Carnival, and previously always with our kids, so we were curious to see if we'd enjoy it just as much going as a couple. We'll take an in-depth look into cruising on one of the few ships that calls Australia home, covering everything from the kids clubs, the entertainment and food, and of course that polarising decor. We'll summarise by showing you exactly what this cruise costs and whether we think it's value for money. Let's dive in! Welcome back to the channel. We are Jill and Mike and we're back at Circular Quay. It is winter in Sydney and we have had the worst weather this week, but look what's happened. The skies have turned blue for us.
Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, we've ditched the coats, we've ditched the umbrellas and we're ready to board Carnival Splendor. So it's been many years since we cruised with Carnival Cruise Line. We used to do it a bit when our kids were very young, and so it was a very different experience. That was back when being on a fun ship was fantastic because that's what kept the kids entertained. This is the first time we've been on a Carnival ship when it's just the two of us sailing. Yep. So this is going to be a very interesting cruise. Are we going to love it? Are we going to hate it? We'll at least get to use the adult only area this time, which is going to be lovely. So let's get on board and see what she's like, our pink princess. Stepping on board the Carnival Splendor for the first time, you are greeted by a dazzling 3-storey lobby decorated with a spectacular array of colours and styles, which really sets the scene for the rest of the ship. The decor here consists of a dizzying array of shiny surfaces, mirrors and vibrant pink, black and gold tones that create that energetic and lively vibe. The centrepiece of this lobby is a grand glowing staircase connecting decks 3 to 5. Opposite the staircase are the popular glass elevators that reach all the way to deck 9, and nestled in between are the dance floor and bar area with lots of seating which buzzes with activity from live music and activities day and night. This style extends beyond the lobby into most of the public areas of the ship, from the dining rooms and bars to the theatre and lounges. First impressions of this style can be a bit overwhelming, and we have heard it described as being a bit like being inside a pinball machine. I'll be honest, we were really worried about the decor on board. It's a dark ship inside and we definitely felt that it lacks a connection to the sea which other ships offer. However, we did get used to it and it really wasn't that much of an issue at all. But if you're looking for a break from all that colour, Alchemy Bar is a little oasis of calm at the back of deck 5. As you approach, its clean lines and muted tones are a gentle contrast to all the surrounding areas. And of course, the external areas of the ship have that much more traditional style with lots of blues, whites and wood. With this last minute booking, our only option was an interior cabin, which was a first for us. We were nervous about how we would find this and if we would feel claustrophobic, given that wonderful, colourful decor around the ship. First impressions of the room were that it was very bright and well designed with lots of storage. There's no denying that this interior is dated, but like the rest of the ship, it's pretty well maintained. No matter which type of cabin we have on a cruise ship, we rarely spend much time in it. We prefer to be out and about enjoying everything a ship has to offer, and like most people we've spoken to, we really only use our cabins for sleeping in. And that's where this cabin shines. We slept like babies because the room was so dark and cosy once the lights were out. This is a double-edged sword, however, because when we woke up, we had no idea if it was 3 AM or 3 PM. Overall, we missed being able to open the doors and connect to the sea, but in terms of value for money, you cannot beat an interior cabin, especially on a short cruise like this. Okay, let's talk about everybody's favourite subject, food. Carnival have done a great job of providing a wide variety of quality dining options. Most of the food on board is free and we didn't feel any pressure to pay for the extras, and that makes this holiday very economical. Let's start with the two main dining rooms, Black Pearl and Gold Pearl. Breakfast is served daily in Gold Pearl, as well as lunch on sea days. And if you want breakfast in bed, or you just want a lazy day in your cabin, there is room service available for an extra charge. For evening meals, the main dining rooms offer 2 options, which you have to pick before the start of your cruise. You can dine between 5 and 8:30 every day in Black Pearl if you choose your time dining. So when you're ready to eat, you jump onto the app, you check in, and as soon as a table is ready for you, you'll be notified on the app. It can get quite busy, so it's worth checking in just as you leave your cabin and not when you arrive at the restaurant. The alternative to your time dining is assigned seating. With this option, you can pick one of two set dining times, either 5:15 p.m. or 7:45 p.m. You'll eat at the same time, at the same table and with the same serving team every night, and that's in Gold Pearl Restaurant. Just be aware though, you cannot switch between these two dining options once you're on board. So if you don't know which one you'd prefer, our recommendation would be to go with your time dining. That said, if you're travelling with small kids who always need to be fed early, you might want to consider the earlier assigned seating option. And this is also a good choice for larger groups. Overall, we found the quality of the food in both dining rooms to be great. We loved everything we tried, and it was always served hot, and that's not always the case in cruise ship main dining rooms. The service was a little rushed though, but that's I guess to be expected in such a busy location, and boy do those staff work hard. And if you're looking for something a little less formal, Carnival have you covered with the Lido Marketplace and its many casual dining outlets available on decks 9 and 10. The Lido Marketplace is a traditional cruise ship buffet offering much the same food as the main dining rooms, but in a self-service style. Breakfast is served here daily, starting with a continental breakfast half an hour before the full buffet opens, and then breakfast is served right through until 11:30 for all you late risers. Lunchtime in the Lido starts at 12, running till 2:30 every day except Embarkation Day, when it's open from 11 till 3:30. Also located in the Lido are the Mongolian Wok, the Seafood Shack and the Old Fashioned Barbecue, which is up the stairs on deck 10 and easy to miss. Opening times vary for these, and just be aware though that the Seafood Shack isn't included in your fare and costs extra. The Lido also opens again for dinner at 5:30 and is available until 9 p.m. each night, and you can also find a late night snack here from 11 p.m. And don't forget, this is also the home of Swirls, the ever popular self-service ice cream machines, and we also found a self-service beer machine in there. Unlike many other cruise lines, Carnival really shines with the number of casual food outlets available for free. Around the main pool you have Pizzeria del Capitano and Guy's Burger Joint. Guy's Burger Joint is open all afternoon from 12 till 5:30 every day and serves really good burgers with a variety of toppings that you can customise to suit.
Guys? Yeah, definitely thumbs up.
Pizzeria del Capitano is nearly always open, serving single slices and full pizzas from 9 a.m. right through until 4 a.m. It's a great spot to end any late night. Just behind the Lido and in front of the adults only area Serenity, you'll also find Masala Tiger and the Deli. The deli is open every day from 11:30 till 5:30, serving sandwiches and wraps. And Masala Tiger is only open for lunch but serves fantastic Indian dishes from 12 until 2:30. But if that's not enough for you, Carnival has a few extra treats available for an additional charge. At the top of the ship, right at the back of Deck 11, you'll find Fahrenheit 555. This is a traditional steakhouse where you'll be served the finest cuts of beef as well as lamb, seafood and fish dishes. The service is very relaxed but elegant. This costs $72 per person and you need to book early as it's really popular. We actually forgot to make a booking on day one and found it was fully booked by day two. However, the amazing team at Guest Services managed to find us a reservation, so if you have that same problem, it's definitely worth speaking to them. Fahrenheit 555 is only open for dinner, but it's such a shame you can't have lunch in there with views like these. The quality of the food in here is exceptional. We were really blown away and absolutely stuffed by the end of it. Definitely go in hungry because those steaks are huge, even the smallest ones. And if you don't actually want to dine in Fahrenheit 555 but want something special, some of the menu options from there are available in the main dining rooms for an extra charge. There are also a few extra dining experiences that are not available every day and have to be booked well in advance. These include the chef's table, which is a combination of a behind the scenes tour and private dining. This is a VIP event, strictly limited in numbers, and it serves exclusive food you won't see anywhere else on board. There's also a high tea that's served on certain sea days, which offers the usual array of sandwiches, cakes and scones served on elegant high tea platters. And for the little ones, there's the special breakfast served in the company of Thing 1, Thing 2 and the Grinch from Dr. Seuss. Now we know that Aussies love our coffee, so next up we're heading to Java Blue, and we have to say Java Blue probably served the best coffee we've had at sea, as well as tasty cakes and cookies, and that's open from 6:30 AM. You can also pick up a copy of the ship's daily crossword and Sudoku in here, which are a perfect accompaniment to that morning coffee. Next to that, there's Juice and Java, and they have a variety of freshly squeezed juices on offer, as well as tea, coffee, milkshakes and energy drinks. Next up is Cherry on Top. It's a classic lolly shop which will indulge your sweet tooth with a range of chocolates and lollies by the pound. It's worth a visit in here even if you don't want to buy anything, just because of the amazing smell. And lastly, if all you want is a bag of chips or a familiar snack, the fun shops on Deck 5 at the lobby have you covered. So you've eaten till you're full and now you're looking for somewhere to relax, enjoy a drink or to be entertained. Let's have a look at Splendor's lounges, bars and entertainment. The Hub app will keep you informed about what's happening where, so you'll never miss your favourite band or activity, but don't forget to check the fun times that's delivered to your room each day, because that highlights the most popular activities. There are plenty of bars and lounges on Splendor, each having its own distinct personality. They mostly serve the same mix of beers, wines and cocktails, but there are a few exceptions, and we'll include the menus for each. The first bar you see when you board the ship is the Splendor Lobby Bar. This space is the heart of the ship, with live music and activities almost every day and late into the night. It gets pretty busy in here, especially when there's a popular activity or live music on, so get in early if you want a seat. Having said that, we somehow always manage to find a seat at the bar. Moving up to Deck 4, the Red Frog Pub is a Carnival Favourite. It's set apart from all of the other entertainment venues, sitting near the back outside the upper balcony of the Gold Pearl restaurant. But there's also a handy shortcut down from Deck 5 via the stairs at Java Blue. This is a traditional style pub where you can also order bar snacks for an extra cost, and it also hosts shuffleboard and foosball tournaments, as well as karaoke and really great live music. Deck 5 is the main entertainment deck, with venues stretching from the Spectacular Theatre at the front all the way to the El Morocco Lounge at the back of the ship. The Spectacular Theatre actually spans the front of Decks 3, 4 and 5 and is home to the ship's headliner shows and a variety of other events and activities such as bingo, the Dr. Seuss story time, crew presentations and Deal or No Deal. There's actually no bar in here, but the waiters are always on hand to take your order. Leaving the theatre on Deck 5 and heading aft, you'll cross the lobby to find the Our House Sports Bar. This is a favourite for catching the footy or other live sports on the multiple screens around the bar, and there's loads of seating. Continuing aft, you'll find one of the bigger casinos we've seen on a ship. There's plenty of pokies as well as poker, blackjack and roulette tables. The casino bar, which is also known as the Ocean View Bar, is a large open plan bar which has a small stage for live music and loads of seating. It's a great meeting place, always full of energy. Heading aft and passing through the Java Blue Cafe, you'll find the very appropriately named Red Carpet Dance Club. And it certainly is red in there. It's strictly 18 plus, open from 9:30 PM till late and usually pretty busy. Interestingly, we've been on plenty of cruise ship nightclubs, but we've never been aware of security before, but there's a very obvious security presence on Splendor. And just outside the nightclub is our favourite bar on board, Alchemy Bar. These guys really know how to mix a good cocktail, making everything from scratch. You will not find any pre-mixed syrups in here. The cocktails are a little more expensive, but boy are they worth every cent. And if you don't see something you like on the menu, these guys in here will just mix you up a custom cocktail which will blow your socks off. It's a really small bar, it's really friendly, and the modern decor in here is quite a relief on the eyes compared to everywhere else inside. Next to Alchemy is the Grand Piano Bar, another Carnival favourite where you can sing along all night long. Again, there's no bar in here, but there is great waiter service, and remember, kids have to be out by 10 PM and that's when the fun really begins. On the opposite side of the piano bar, you'll find the Cool Lounge. Now, we've seen this described as a lively spot for music and dancing, but the only time we even saw it used was when the spa were hosting a ladies' pamper event, and that's such a shame. Our cruise was fully booked, and so we're not really sure why this venue was closed. It would make the perfect spot for live music and some dancing. At the very back of Deck 5, El Morocco will transport you to an exotic location with its lush Moroccan-inspired decor featuring rich fabrics, intricate patterns and warm lighting. It's a really popular spot by day for trivia and more, and by night it's taken over by the Punchliner Comedy Club. Moving up to Deck 9, the main pool area is home to the Red Frog Rum Bar and the Blue Iguana Tequila Bar. These are your typical poolside bars with friendly staff and fantastic cocktails sold by the glass or the pitcher. And last but not least, at the very back of Deck 9, the adults only Serenity area has its very own bar. You can either order at the bar or take advantage of the friendly waiters who'll roam the area serving drinks, so you don't even have to get out of the hot tub. So we've covered the adult entertainment, but Carnival are known for being amazing family holidays, and that's certainly true on Splendor, which offers plenty to keep the whole family busy. Let's have a look at what's on for the kids. There are 3 free kids clubs on board, plus 1 chargeable option available for infants. For those under 2s, it's called Turtles, and this is the only chargeable kids club on board. Activities in there include arts and crafts, educational games, Zoom Beanie, whatever that is, dancing, sensory play and so much more. Now Turtles is only open for specific times and it's within the Camp Ocean area. Parents are welcome to stay with their infants or they can leave them under supervision for a fee. Just check on board for specific opening times and remember that no meals are provided for the Turtles. Next up, and again inside Camp Ocean, you'll find the youth programme catering to kids from ages 2 to 12. It's located on Deck 10 and it's split into 3 distinct areas. It has penguins for kids aged 2 to 5 years, stingrays for those 6 to 8 year olds, and the sharks are 9 to 11 year olds. Each area offers daily activities such as arts, crafts, singing and dancing, and they also have a meal service with lunch from 12 till 12:50 and dinner from 5:15 till 6, both served in the Lido. Our next port of call is Circle C, which is located just down on Deck 4 near the Black Pearl restaurant, and this one's for the 12 to 14 year olds. They offer arts and crafts, sports and video games, or the kids can simply hang out in the lounge and watch movies or more, and it's all supervised. There's no sign-in policy here, so your tweens are free to come and go as they please. Next up is Club O2, that's on Deck 5 and that caters for ages 15 to 17. Here your teens can watch movies, dance, do karaoke or simply relax with their new friends in the lounge. They also have some organised activities which apparently includes face painting, but I don't think you'll find any princesses and butterflies here, we're talking more zombie apocalypse. And lastly, we need to mention the Night Owl service, which is a chargeable service available for kids up to age 11 who want to join in the fun from 9 PM till midnight while their parents enjoy a show or a relaxing dinner. As well as movies, games, toys and snacks, they also hold an Owls Jam party. Of course, there's also plenty of organised activity on board for the whole family to enjoy together. Events such as scavenger hunts, dance parties, trivia, Build-A-Bear and the Sousapalooza activities, as well as those always available and included in your fair activities such as Carnival Waterworks, mini golf, basketball, arts and crafts and so much more. A firm family favourite on most cruises are the pools, and Splendor is no exception. The main pool area is always lively and surrounded by plenty of loungers both in and out of the sunshine and over 3 levels. It's home to daily fun activities such as Legend of the Lido, ice carving and more, and it's also the location for the sail away party and nighttime themed parties such as the 80s Rock and Glow party and dive-in movies. Surrounding the pool, as we mentioned earlier, there are plenty of options for food and drink with Guy's Burger Joint and the Pizzeria El Capitano and of course the rum and tequila bars. One level up surrounding the pool on Deck 10, as well as plenty seating, you'll also find covered hot tubs which were very popular with the kids on board, and this is also where you'll find the table tennis tables. Now, if you've seen Carnival docked at Circular Quay, you cannot have missed those giant water slides, Green Lightning and Twister. And as well as these, there's actually 2 water parks on board. The first is called Waterworks, and it's located at the base of the water slides on Deck 11, and for the little ones, Splashy Cove is separated at the back of the same deck. Please bear in mind that no swim nappies are allowed in any of Carnival's pools or water play areas. And if all that isn't enough, there are additional activities on board, some of which are chargeable. These include the Warehouse Arcade, the Build-A-Bear Workshop, themed breakfasts and more. Now if you're looking for a little me time on your cruise, then the spa is always a popular option. The Cloud9 Spa is Splendor's spa, and it features a thalassotherapy pool, thermal suites and plenty of treatment rooms with a full menu of relaxing and therapeutic treatments and services, including acupuncture, facials, hair and beauty services, a medi spa and men's barber services. And next door to that, you'll find a really well equipped gym, so if you like to keep fit at sea, this has you covered. The gym is free and there are also fitness classes available. We do love a thermal suite, and we booked this one just in case on this very full and very family oriented cruise it became a little much for us empty nesters. We have to admit that we were pretty underwhelmed by the entire experience. The pool was always packed with little room to relax and very little space around to leave towels, thongs, etc. The jets didn't all work, the drain covers weren't properly fitted and were all over the place. In contrast, the thermal suite rooms themselves were spacious and clean, and at first entry we couldn't understand why they were so empty when the pool area was so overcrowded. But a quick seat on most of the chairs explained the reason why. They were pretty much too hot to sit on for more than a few moments, and we weren't the only ones making those observations. Overall, the thermal suite was a big letdown for us, and it certainly wasn't the tranquil experience we expected. Let's hope it gets a much needed makeover when the ship goes into dry dock this year. Okay, enough of that, back to the fun. There are plenty of shops on board for all you shopaholics like me out there. The shops are located on deck 5 above the Splendor lobby. There's the usual selection of jewellery, souvenir shops, clothing, beauty and accessories, as well as an area for general sundries such as painkillers and sunscreen and snacks. For international cruises, there's also the duty-free shopping, and keep an eye open for lots of sales taking place throughout your cruise if you like a bargain. Located at the aft of the ship behind the Lido buffet, you'll find Serenity, the adult-only area of the ship, which consists of a sun terrace, bar, pools and hot tubs. We never quite managed to get into any of the hot tubs because being a winter cruise they were constantly packed out. And also the loungers in the sun were really hard to come by. Now none of this was a reflection on Serenity, really just to do with the time of year. That said, it is an adults only area and it's a lovely quiet place to relax and while away a sea day with a cocktail. This cruise spent a day at Moreton Island just off the coast of Brisbane in Queensland. Like many locations, guests are ferried to and from the island in tenders because the waters are too shallow for the ship to dock by the island's pier. So how does this tender process work? If you're not booked on an official cruise shore excursion, you'll queue up to check in for a tender number on the pool deck as soon as your whole party are ready to depart the ship. It's a first come first served basis, so don't hang around getting into that line. The wait for a tender can get really lengthy as the morning progresses, and we waited around an hour to get off the ship. If you are booked on an official excursion though, you'll be separately advised where and when to meet in advance. And then returning to the ship was a simple first come first served basis, and we didn't have to queue for more than 20 minutes. Leaving late morning and returning early afternoon would definitely have been the busiest times, and we'd highly recommend avoiding those if you don't want to hang around in queues. So if you're only planning a wander around on the island, heading over after lunch would be ideal. Overall, the process is really well explained by the cruise director over the tannoy, and those tenders themselves are well organised if a bit crowded. There's nothing like rubbing knees with a stranger to break the ice and get to know someone. Let's talk technology. As soon as you board, you can connect to the ship's Wi-Fi and start to use the app. Don't forget to turn on airplane mode either so that you're not hit with roaming charges, which can still apply even on domestic cruises. Overall, the Carnival Hub App is pretty good, with everything you need to know about the ship, daily activities and also how to book restaurants and services. We especially found the where to eat now, what's happening now and the ability to check in for dining really useful. Oh, and by the way, the app can be used without paying for a Wi-Fi package. Just remember though that a paper copy of the fun times is still printed and delivered to your room each day, and even though the app is great, it's sometimes easier to see the highlights and popular things in the fun times rather than on the app. We actually completely missed the 80s deck party before we worked this one out. Okay, so no one loves the last day of a cruise, but disembarkation is really important because it's a busy day. With Carnival, there are 2 options for a seamless disembarkation, and you'll be invited to make a selection prior to the last day of the cruise using the Carnival Hub App. Your first option is scheduled disembarkation. Using the app, you select a disembarkation time. Using this option, you leave your packed luggage outside your cabin on the last night of the cruise and it's taken to the passenger terminal for you. Just don't forget to pack an overnight bag. Second option is express disembarkation. Choose this option if you need an early disembarkation and you're able to take your own luggage off the ship. Everybody needs to be off the ship by 10 AM, but don't forget you can still have breakfast on that last morning. There's no room service on disembarkation day, but the buffet is open from 5:30 until 9, and the Gold Pearl restaurant is open from 6:30 till 8. And you can still charge a coffee to your onboard account from 6 AM at Java Blue Cafe. So what did this jam-packed cruise cost us? We each bought a thermal suite pass, $118 each, and we also purchased the bottomless bubbles package, which was $79.60 each. We added premium Wi-Fi for one device, that was $102, and we had a specialty dining meal in Fahrenheit 555, which was $72 per person. Add on to that the total cost of the cruise, which was $1,260. That brings our total costs, excluding alcohol, to $1,901. So all up, $190 per day per person, excluding alcohol. We think that's incredible value for money, considering this includes your room, all food, soft drinks and a complete entertainment programme. We found the food on board was really great considering the price point, and the live music around the ship in particular was brilliant. The performers in the headliner shows were hugely talented, but really just covering songs, and we did miss that element of storytelling that a production show can bring. We did hear that during the cruise that there were some aspects of the show which had to be cancelled, so maybe that's what we missed, we're not sure. Anyway, there are so many cruise lines now showing Broadway style shows or including incredible acrobatics. It would have been really nice to see Carnival add a few new elements to their shows too. Okay, there's no denying that Carnival Splendor is an old-fashioned ship with dated decor and design, and we definitely found the thermal suite disappointing. However, that said, the amazing staff on board and the amount of fun and energy they pack into that cruise more than makes up for all of that. It really is an ideal holiday for families or groups looking for an easy, affordable and fun getaway. And finally, despite our initial concerns, we didn't hate having an internal cabin, which really surprised us, and I don't think we'd shy away from it again in future. So that's our roundup of the Carnival Splendor based out of Sydney. We'd love to hear from you if you've cruised on this ship, and if you agree or if you've got something to add, pop it in the comments below. And if you liked this video, please consider hitting the like button and subscribe to the channel.